You'll get, there you go. Got it.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to another Spades Community Show. I'm your host, Bobby Love. We've got all the community that are making decisions, the admin group from Stephen to Jack. David is on the line as well. This is going to be kind of a quick show, just a couple updates, just so you guys kind of know what's going on. And then I think we're going to talk to Stephen a little bit about his aha moment when he came up with this concept, this idea, but we'll get to that in a moment. So Stephen, if you would go ahead and take it away and maybe give us just a little bit of an update on what is going on.
Sure, thank you. The development is going on very well. Jack, David, and I are on every night with the developers, and it's moving quickly. There is a link from the Facebook page, which is currently our main way of outreach with people because frankly, you can't get an account here just yet. There's still some development going on unless you're one of the beta testers. But from the Facebook page, there is now a link which I'm going to open up here called Nominate. You can find it here under Charitable Awards. For any of our members out there, because we do notice that a lot of people are watching the videos, and we thank you for that, just so you can stay up to date. You can nominate a charity, a nonprofit, or a school to be the recipient of the Spades Charitable Token Award. We do that generally twice a month. Right now, we have it on hold until we can actually take a vote. We don't want to keep unilaterally choosing the charities. But once we catch up, then we'll give them to a few communities or charities simultaneously. So here's what you need to know if you want to nominate a charity or a nonprofit or a school for an award. We need to actually know who you are. That's different than your username. Since you may not have a username in our community yet, just fill in whatever it is that you plan on using. Your email so we can contact you, the name of the organization's website. If they don't have one, you can put not applicable. You'll still be able to send us the form. But we'll be curious as to why they don't have a website, to be quite honest. Now, this is the part that's important. The contact person at the organization, their email address, or other organizational contact information. And tell us a little bit about the charity. And lastly, you do need to confirm that they're aware of who and what we are. We don't just give out charitable awards to charities that have no idea in the world who we are and why it is that we would be giving them an award, because we do want an interplay that goes along with our access points projects, our scale projects. You know, Bobby and I have been talking at length with Carla from the Dream Culture USA, and we're actually building a plan. So we do want to have a plan and a strategic alliance with the community. Everything needs to be synergistic. Another quick, nice, easy update that everyone's going to be, it's important to know. So when you log in, once you're able to, your dashboard is going to be where you manage everything. You get to your cloud credits, the events, the social profile, the job boards, your groups, auctions, referral programs that have to do with earning funds, the orders that you've made, downloads, where to ship things, all this kind of stuff. So now in the middle, for those who've been watching these weekly updates, there was no information. So now we have this available to us, and on a daily basis or as necessary, we'll be putting the information into this area. This is where we communicate with the community members. At some point, there's going to be a lot of community members, not people who watch videos or spend time that any of you who are actually watching this would otherwise do. So we'll be communicating with people here. You know, there's a vote to be done for a new charity. There's a new exchange that we're coming out on. And let me digress there for just 1 second. David, if you can see the people on the call, he's up here. David is overseeing the committee that is working on the ICO project and the plan. Now, one other thing I'd like to mention just in passing here is on our homepage, we have a video right in the center calling Adding Spades Token to Your Clever Wallet. If you're going to refer people, or if you have Spades tokens, maybe you're using TronLink, maybe you're using Trust Wallet, we're building a really important relationship with Clever Wallet, and I highly suggest that you use Clever Wallet. You can actually buy crypto tokens there. You can get addresses for a variety of different cryptocurrencies. For our community, this is somewhat important because we will be accepting in cryptocurrencies for cloud credits. And we want them to go to our Clever Wallet, because then as soon as they are received by us in exchange for you receiving any kind of cloud credit to purchase on the system, we'll then be taking those and buying SPADES tokens ourselves right off of that system. And we would like it to be a pretty seamless conversion. And this gets into really complicated stuff. I know some people watching are not that in depth in cryptos, and those who are will read between the lines and understand what I'm talking about. But if we have the infrastructure on a particular platform, then it's going to make it easier and less expensive for everybody. So if you don't have a Clever Wallet, or then I suggest you get one. You can add SPADES to Clever Wallet. We're on Clever. And if you refer people over, and we really ask you to do that, let people know, even if you're not buying SPADES tokens yet until we're public, it's good to have a SPADES wallet already available to you. So please let people know, hey, just go grab a Clever Wallet and you can add SPADES, and the video is right here to tell them how to do it. So beyond that, there's a lot of other updates behind the scenes. They're all very technical, and I don't really see any use in going through all of them for everybody. That's it, Bobby.
Well, okay. Well, that's good to know. Actually, I didn't realize that we could add the SPADES token to the, oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It just totally shrink down on me. Okay, there we go. Sorry, everybody. That wasn't expecting it to shift quite like that. Yeah, so I guess, Stephen, what we could really do at this point is we could go ahead and, kind of maybe touch on a little bit, well, I guess you could say that it's history, but not really the history of how all of this got started. It's more like, I would call it your aha moment. What made you suddenly decide to write the paper in 2005 about the free digital universe? And what was it that kind of like inspired this whole thing that we're doing?
All right, Bobby, that's a good question. And actually, it came up the other day when I was doing a presentation for some people. And even until that point, it didn't dawn on me how critical it actually is to explain to people what was the real true inception, not even of the free digital universe itself, but the need for a community currency. Because that's what the SPADES token is doing. It is backing a community currency, and it is all, which is our community, the SPADES community, but it's also has the capacity to back other local currencies, community currencies that don't even have to be online. So I'm going to go way back to 2000. You'll see the copyright and the copy left here. And I was designing sustainable solution systems for communities. And as you can see here on the screen, I actually found the very old document called the Gaiatech Eco Village, Sustainable Living Through Conscious Cooperation. And I'll scroll through this pretty quickly until we come down to the economic section of it. So this was for a group of about 40 families that were going to get about 250 to 300 acres. And they wanted to create a sustainable little local community, grow their own food. There was people who made dresses. There was people who made other products. Here's the organic food production, exactly how we would do it, the aquaponics system. And I know I'm scrolling kind of quickly, but you can see this was really created between 1999 and 2000. This home was really cool. These are dome homes. So you basically have like upside down pool bubbles. You blow them up, you shoot shotcrete over them, and you can, they'll dry in a couple of days. So you can see the design here. What's so nice about this is, oh, grandma's going to come live with me. I just blow up another bubble and now there's another room. and it's impervious to hurricanes. It's impervious to earthquakes. This particular home, this real home that you see here, was built in Santa Cruz, and it went through an earthquake that happened there in actually the 1980s, and it leveled everything except for that house because it's a dome. So the more pressure you put on it, the stronger it becomes. That's just an example. This was our DNA home. I guess the point here is that this was a sustainable living system, solar, water, and refrigeration, how we created electricity, how we collected rainwater, how you used your own wastewater to grow food. I know that may sound kind of gross, but if you separate out the negative things, it's actually quite useful. Actually, this guy, I just gotta point this out. Look at this guy here. So you've got like basically a, the thing you swing on down that we did.
Zip line?
Yeah, a zip line. A zip line that's connected with little bicycles. So you can get around a community. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was a really great idea.
Perfect. It's perfect.
It's really, really, really safe to me.
Well,
I would do it in 2 seconds.
Hey, zip line is safe. This is just zip line on a bike.
But I'm a bungee jumper too, so.
Anyway.
My dad's a
and then we
machinist.
got into the village.
So disagree, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, here's the village economics. Anyway, we've got these really cool technologies that pull water out of air, and they separate out all the different molecules and the atoms, so then you can reconstruct the water, because it's one thing if you're going to be growing food in a field, you need more nitrogen versus if you're taking a shower. So, designed water, agroforestry, the world's fastest growing tree. This is an 18-month-old tree, 2-year plantation. Look at this, guys. This is incredible. This is a 12-year-old Paulownia tree. It would take 45 years to do a fir tree that's that big to get the wood out of it. So it's about sustainability. And frankly, the Spades community is about sustainability too, because we want to allow people to import wealth into their communities through things that are creative, from art to music to programming to licensing to marketing. None of those things require you to cut down a tree or kill an animal in order to make a living. So anyway, I'll just jump through here. You can see this community that I designed with some other people. So look at this real quick. 6-month-old leaf. Incredible. Huge. Fire resistant. Our governance systems. Actually, this is kind of goes to what we're doing now with the Spades community. The ideas that were designed, we're talking over 20 years ago, are now being implemented with a little bit of a twist, that we're letting the community members create their own communities or committees within the community, all those C words. And so a lot of the designs for a sustainable system, even if it's physical, are now being transferred over to our digital community, so that we as a digital community that's global can be sustainable, and we can then pass on sustainability designs to the local places where our community members actually live. In fact, Scale is here. Scale is still in our community, the social cooperative and the local exchange. All right, so I'm going to jump out of there. Sorry, it's going to squeeze on you. So Bobby, this is where this really, really, really began. We had about 40 families who were getting together to buy this big tract of land and go build these different kinds of homes and grow their own food. And they wanted a community barter system with a credit. So if you grew food in your garden, you could bring it in. You've got extra carrots. Well, it's really hard to say, well, I'll give you a tomato for a carrot. Instead, the idea was, if you bring something in, we're going to give you a credit for it, a community credit, right? This is what a carrot is worth. This is what a tomato's worth. This is what wood is worth. This is what time is worth. And there were a variety of people who wanted to join the community who said, but look, I'm a cultural creative. That's what they called them back, in 2000. People who were artists or musicians or programmers or marketers or whatever the case may be. And they said, well, look, how do I get the community credits? I'm not going to be growing a garden. What I do is online. So we designed, that's where the free digital universe came from. We said, look, if you have a physical community, you need a way, if you're a creative person, to import wealth into that community's credit system so that you have credits to get the food from the farmer, or the dresses from the dressmaker, or a drum from the drum maker, or whatever it happens to be. So that's where this really, really all began, is saying, how do you create a sustainable community where the members of the community can interact with each other and exchange things with each other, both for physical goods and services, as well as for services that are essentially digital. Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting because I actually did not know how, I knew about the paper that was written, but I didn't know what was the driving kind of force behind it. And I think that it's interesting all these years later that I find it interesting that nobody's ever done what we're really doing, and especially not in the way that we're doing it. I like to think of, in some regards, down the line, obviously, but it's going to be kind of like having your own online version of a farmer's market, where we're going to attract different people from all parts of the world, where you're going to find some really cool and unique products. And obviously this is going to take some time to build before we'll get to that point. But I really think we're going to see some stuff that we just, there's just some really unique products and services and things that we'll have access to. But when I think about the economic ecosystem that we're creating, the thing that always comes to my mind is that, if you want to change the way that you distribute wealth, you have to change the way oh God. And of course, when I go to say this, I'm going to screw it up. If you want to change the way that wealth is distributed, you have to change the way we distribute the wealth. Right. And
Right.
so, I really feel like we are taking this on in a brand new way. And I think it's going to, it's going to be its own ecosystem, because it will change over time based on the different and great and unique people that get brought in as we continue to go.
That's exactly it. The success of this is going to be reliant on the people who come to participate, on the creativity that they bring, on what it is that they choose to offer to this particular community versus what they might offer somewhere else. I was on a call the other night, and someone said to me, look, Stephen, I'm an artist and I'd love to sell my stuff on your site. I need $100 to pay my rent tomorrow. So how do I do that on your system? And I said, you don't, you need to use, Facebook Marketplace or something else, because when you sell something on our system, you're going to get cloud credits. Now, immediately you could turn those cloud credits into SPADES tokens. And in a few more moments, you could turn those SPADES tokens by swapping them into another digital currency, or there will at some point be exchanges, like whether it's Clever or it's Coinbase or it's Gaia platform, where you can turn it directly to cash. To be realistic, new cryptos don't go on those tremendously huge exchanges and get cashable out immediately. That takes a little bit of time. And this is not an overnight endeavor. So if you need to turn a product into US dollar cash, because that's what your landlord takes, in 24 hours, then we're not the right platform for that particular thing to do. Now, there's a lot of people around the world and particularly the people that we will have access to through our charitable relationships, that don't have access to anything else. They can't go sell on Etsy. They can't go sell on eBay. It's not going to do them any good. They have zero way of receiving a US dollar. They're the unbankable. When you get an account with us, you immediately already have a bank account. You get a Spades account and you get cloud credits. And we are working with wallet providers that will provide you a wallet. And unless you want to cash it out to cash, to a fiat currency, you don't even need to provide necessarily much identification. They'll give you a wallet. So there's a lot of moving parts here to help the unbankable. There's not so many moving parts if you're in the first or second world where you have access already to a bank account and things of that nature. But we are stretching as far as we can to make this available, to do what you like to say, Bobby, to give everybody a seat at the table, even those who, there is no bank account in this village, even though there is a charitable organization there that we might be working with, and they do have access with computers, and they can let villagers use them, and they can sell their art, or they might even, if the charity's working with them, sell shoes or sell bracelets or sell whatever it is. You know, I don't want to minimize the things that they can make, but whatever it is, and so it can actually, even a physical good could be shipped.
So
Tell
I
you.
guess, so
Go
Stephen, real
ahead.
quickly, just to clarify, what we're talking about right now, when you're saying that we won't be able to cash out, you're really more referencing in the beginning stages of this, but as it moves into the next 3 to 6 months, right, you would be able to transfer it over to a Spades wallet. You'd be able to buy your Spades wallet and then sell your Spades, right? Like, it's not like you'll never be able
I
to
think,
cash money.
no, I think I have miscommunicated. You'll be able to cash out to Spades tokens. But Spades tokens is a newer currency. So the question is, until we get onto an exchange that allows you to cash directly out, sell your, like Coinbase. On Coinbase right now, they don't even take Tron. Tron is a huge, huge coin. There's a lot of huge coins that Coinbase will not let you work with on their exchange. So there's a lot of credits or cryptocurrencies out there that you can't cash them out for $1. You'll be able, look, as soon as we go live, you're going to be able to cash out your cloud credits to Spades tokens. But then there's another step. How do you turn a Spades token into $1? Which is no different than Ethereum or Bitcoin. If I sold an NFT on Raribles or one of these sites, someone's going to pay me in Ethereum. Well, then I still have to take my Ethereum and somehow cash it into $1 if I want to pay my landlord who doesn't take Ethereum. You see what I'm saying? So you will be able to cash out. Don't get me wrong there. You're cashing out into a crypto token. We are a token. We're a token and we're a community. And the two are synergistic with one another. The community helps the value of the token rise. The token is the backing for the community. So they're the two sides of a coin.
So will you be able then and obviously we're talking about as things progress, but will you then be able to exchange a Spade token to like some of the currency that you can cash out, like a Bitcoin or something along those lines?
Look, I fully expect that Matthias, who was on last week that we talked with, will have the banking exchange and wallet system up and running. Now, as soon as he does that, if you get a bank account with his bank, you'll be able to take your Spades token in a moment and turn it into $1 or a euro or a yen or whatever currency you want, and it will be actually attached. It'll be a multi-currency debit card, and you'll be able to get, you know, bypass these issues. But these are the normal issues that people are facing. And these are kind of, some of the questions I get from people at times. And I just want to point out that they're viable, they're good questions, because the crypto community itself is still evolving.
It is definitely in its infant stage, no doubt.
Right. Look, there's a lot of great currencies, cryptos, that you can't get on on Coinbase. Right. So if you use Coinbase, which is what most people are familiar with, or Binance, you have to go and buy something there, then move it over to one of the exchanges like Clever with a wallet that allows you to then swap it for one of these alternative currencies. Otherwise, you can't get it. When some people wanted to get SPADES tokens, right? I mean, you were involved with this. They said, here, Bobby, I'm going to send over to you some Bitcoin because I'm in Coinbase and I have Bitcoin, but I can't get Tron because Coinbase doesn't support Tron. Right. So that's the problem. There are over 5,000 cryptocurrencies and new ones coming, and some of them are boutique. And initially, anything that's new is somewhat boutique. And so you have to work within the infrastructure that's available to you. And that's why we're going out of our way to work with Matthias to see what is it that we need to do so that, and luckily we've got their blessing, that we will be one of the premier coins actually on their system. Because they see what this community is going to do.
Well, that is extremely encouraging. So I think for me, the biggest takeaway from, what we've been discussing, you have to think of anybody who's watching this right now, you have to think of yourself, which is you are an early adopter, right? Which means that not everything that you are looking at this moment, it's not the way that it's going to be forever. We are building this together. And so with that, there's going to be, you could almost think of this first year like a beta test. Even though it's going to be up and running and everything will be very functional, there are certain kinds of functionality that will be coming out with. But that, in its own way, because you are building it with us, you really are more involved and more a part of it. And we want your feedback so that we can build this together and make it the best that it can possibly be. So to me, that's, I think, based on the conversation we just had, that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, no, we'll always be developing. It isn't straightforward. Everything's always evolving. That's how life works. It evolves. You respond to things that take place. Lorian's listening. She's probably laughing after the conversation we had about what she's dealing with and the evolution of things that have to do with technology. And whatever we can do to make things good for people, easier for people. Look at that. There's a little text from Lorian in the chat, laugh out loud. That's what exactly we're going to do. So beyond that, I just want to see if Jack or David want to mention anything from not.
Yeah, just to help Bobby. Yeah, man, in 3 to 6 months, we will. That's why we have 3 potentials on scene right now. Steven's working with someone and I'm working with 2 individuals to see if we can do this to make it streamlined, very easy for a person to cash out. Again, making the value of our coin, using the coin as much as possible. That's why Steven was saying, as soon as we get the coins back here, we're going to turn around and buy a SPADES token. We want that value to go up for everyone. So in 3 to 6 months, 100%, you'll be able to cash it out. Like Steven was saying, your mortgage. For now, they accept US dollars, but soon many people are going to accept the SPADES token. But 3 to 6 months, you can cash out for Tether, you can cash out for another coin, you can cash out for the USD.
Right. You will be able to cash out for the SPADES token before that and then swap it. But Jack's exactly right. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but we're looking ahead. We're looking 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead, a year ahead. We're even looking a little further than that, so that you will be able to go as quickly and streamline as possible from, hey, you earned something in the community and here it is in cash moments later on a debit card. right? Now we want it to go through the SPADES token because there are people who are investing in the token, and we are the token and we are the community. We're both. And two, in our community, people can come in and start with nothing and offer something that they have and earn the token. I don't know. I mean, look, it's difficult to get free tokens. You can go sign up at Coinbase and take some classes and get, $5 worth of tokens. But on our community, you'll be able to earn thousands of dollars in tokens starting with nothing. And then you're an investor in a token. Now you may not want to just turn it into $1. You may want to hold on to that token if it's continuing to rise in value and go up. Right now you have an investment mechanism as well.
We have to watch, make sure the cats don't run away.
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
make sure the cats don't scratch us.
That's right. Don't want any of those kitties scratching anyone, do we?
So.
Okay, well, I
That's
think
it.
that we could probably go ahead and call it.
Let's call it.
All right, you guys. Thank you everybody for showing up who did, and for all of those of you who are watching right now this recording. So I hope everyone has a fantastic night, and if nothing else, we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Awesome. Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thank
everybody.
you.